There she is, third Thursday of the month. Payday was 9 days ago, and she's just realized she can't pay rent. Again. And she's asking herself the same question I've heard a million times. Where did it all go? Here's what she doesn't know. Here's what you don't know. The answer isn't that you're bad with money. The answer is hiding in plain sight. In every school, every family dinner, every Just Save More article you've ever read. I'm money. I spend my entire life moving through people's hands, wallets, and bank accounts, and I see the same pattern over and over again. By the end of this video, you'll know why Sarah, and maybe you, never learned how to use me properly, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting today. I want you to think about something for a second. When you were in school, you learned algebra, right? You memorized the periodic table. You probably read Romeo and Juliet. You can probably still name the capital of France. But did anyone, any single teacher, any parent, any adult, sit you down and explain what actually happens to a paycheck after it hits your bank account? Here's a number that stopped me when I first heard it. According to a 2022 Council for Economic Education survey, only 23 states require high school students to take a personal finance course. Only 6 require a standalone semester. 23 states. That means in more than half the country, you can graduate high school knowing how to find the hypotenuse of a triangle and have zero idea what compound interest works, or what an APR actually costs you, or why your paycheck seems to evaporate by the 15th. But here's the thing. This gap isn't accidental. It's not a simple oversight. It's the result of how the entire system was built. Let me explain where this starts. Modern schooling systems were shaped during the Industrial Revolution. Their purpose wasn't to create financially independent thinkers. Their purpose was to prepare people to arrive on time, follow instructions, perform specialized tasks, and earn wages. They were not designed to teach asset ownership, or capital allocation, or risk management, or entrepreneurship, or financial independence. The system optimized for predictability in labor participation, not ownership and leverage. Think about it. Schools prioritize subjects tied to government testing, institutional rankings, and public funding. Mathematics and reading are tested. Personal finance rarely is. What gets measured gets funded. What doesn't get tested often gets ignored. Administrators will tell you there's no time. College preparation, exam performance, core requirements, they take everything. Financial literacy becomes optional, and optional subjects are always the first to be excluded. Meet Sarah. She's 38. She manages a small marketing team, makes $47,000 a year. She's smart. She works hard. She's not reckless with money. And she has no idea why she's broke 9 days after every paycheck. Neither did her parents. Neither did her teachers. Neither did her first boss, who told her to just contribute to the 401k without explaining what a 401k even is. Here's something you might not have considered. Many teachers themselves were never taught personal finance. They lack investing experience. They feel unqualified to teach capital markets or debt mechanics. Without institutional support and training, the topic remains underdeveloped. And then there's the cultural piece. In many families, discussing income is considered inappropriate. Debt is hidden. Budgeting is private. Children grow up without open exposure to financial decision-making. Financial silence produces financial ignorance. Most parents followed the work, earn, pay bills model. They relied on salary instead of assets. They avoided investing due to fear or uncertainty. Financial habits are inherited more often than financial strategies. Here's Sarah's reality. $2,950 a month after taxes. Now watch what happens next. because this is where the invisible curriculum really shows up. Sarah looks at that $500 and thinks, okay, I have extra, I can relax a little. So she buys lunch instead of packing, grabs coffee because she's tired, picks something on Amazon because she had a rough day. By the third week, that $500 is gone. By the fourth week, she's using credit for groceries. Now, and this is the part most people miss, Sarah's not irresponsible. She's not shopping sprees and designer bags. She's just untrained. She was taught to budget by subtraction. Income minus expenses equals what's left. She was never taught to budget by direction. Every dollar has a job. Every dollar gets told where to go before the month starts. And if you're watching this, here's what this means for you. That leftover feeling, that I have extra so I can spend instinct, it's not a moral failing, it's a system failure. You were never shown the other way. Here's the thing, money doesn't care if you feel like you have extra. Money responds to instructions. If you don't give it instructions, it follows the path of least resistance, which is usually straight out the door.
Now we get to the part that actually hurts people. Sarah has credit card debt, $4,200. Not catastrophic, not life-ruining, but it's there. And every month, she feels a little shame when she sees the statement. Here's what she was never taught about this piece of paper. The average credit card interest rate in 2023 was over 22%. On $4,200, that's about $77 a month in interest alone, nearly 2/3 of her minimum payment. She sends them $110 every month, and $77 of that just vanishes. It's the fee for borrowing money she already spent. It doesn't reduce what she owes, it just keeps the cycle going. Now, here's where we need to talk about incentives. Modern economies rely heavily on credit. Financial illiteracy increases high-interest borrowing, credit card dependency, late fees, penalties, and poor long-term planning. Complex interest structures generate significant institutional revenue. A population that misunderstands compounding becomes highly profitable. The shame Sarah feels, that's not an accident, that's by design. Credit card companies don't want you to understand the math, they want you to feel bad. Because shame makes you avoid looking, and when you avoid looking, you don't notice that you've been paying for that dinner from 2 years ago every single month since. Now, you might be thinking, but money, isn't that her fault? She shouldn't have spent more than she had. And you're right if you're looking at it purely mathematically. But let me ask you something. Who taught her what credit actually is? Who explained that a minimum payment isn't a plan, it's a trap? Who showed her how to calculate what that dinner really costs with interest? No one, because no one taught her parents either, and her parents' parents, going back generations of people who were told, just be responsible, without ever being shown how. This is the shame cycle. You don't know, you make mistakes, you feel ashamed, you avoid looking, you never learn, you repeat.
And if you're watching this and feeling that shame right now, I need you to hear something. I am money. I don't judge you. I don't reward virtue or punish failure. I just respond. When Sarah avoids her credit card statement, I don't think, bad person. I just sit there, accruing interest, waiting for instructions. When she checks her balance and panics, I don't think, irresponsible. I just observe. Here's what most people don't realize. The shame isn't helping you learn. It's helping the system keep you exactly where you are. Think about who benefits from financial illiteracy. This isn't about conspiracy, it's about incentives. Short-term beneficiaries include high-interest lenders, credit card companies, consumer corporations, debt-based financial institutions, and employers who benefit from financially dependent workers. Economies optimized for consumption velocity need people to spend, not save. Financially disciplined citizens tend to save more, delay purchases, evaluate cost of capital, and avoid unnecessary debt. While that strengthens individuals long-term, high consumption drives short-term economic growth. Individuals with high debt, no savings, and no investments are more dependent on employment. Debt reduces mobility and risk tolerance. Savings increase optionality. From a labor market perspective, financially stressed workers are more stable and less likely to leave. That's not a conspiracy, that's just how the incentives line up.
Okay, let me show you what no one ever put on a chalkboard for you. Every dollar that enters your life, every single one, goes through 4 gates, always, without exception. Gate 1. Enter. This is where I show up. Paycheck, gift, side hustle, whatever. This is the only gate most people think about. I need more money. But watch what happens next. Gate 2. Leak. This is where I leave before you even notice. Bank fees, interest payments, subscriptions you forgot, the upcharge for convenience, the latte, yes, but also the late fee, the overdraft, the membership you never use. Most people lose 10 to 15% of their income here without ever seeing a single thing they actually wanted. Gate 3, grow. This is where I'm supposed to do something. Invested, put in a high-yield account, used to buy an asset, directed towards something that will make more of me. This gate is locked for most people, not because they don't have money to grow, but because no one ever showed them the key. Gate 4, exit. This is where I leave for things you actually chose. Rent, food, experiences, things that matter. Here's what you were never taught. Most people only manage Gate 4. They focus on the spending they choose. Meanwhile, Gate 2 is bleeding silently. Gate 3 is completely ignored, and Gate 1 gets all the attention. I just need to earn more, even though more entering doesn't fix leaking. Watch Sarah. She's never seen this before. She's been managing Gate 4 her whole life, trying to spend less on groceries, skipping the coffee, feeling guilty about takeout. But no one told her about Gate 2. No one showed her that her convenience spending, the fees, the subscriptions, the interest, is actually bigger than her treat-yourself spending. No one explained Gate 3, that the $50 she could put somewhere every month would be real money someday if she just started. The good news is this is slowly changing. Financial education is becoming more common. Independent creators are filling the gap. Digital finance platforms are making information accessible. Behavioral finance research is revealing why we do what we do. By 2026, over 25 states will require personal finance courses for high school graduation. The system is evolving, but systemic inertia is strong. Change is gradual. So what do you actually do with this?
Not someday. This week.
Here are 3 things you can do right now. Number 1, audit Gate 2. Open your bank and credit card statements from last month. Go through every single transaction. Highlight everything that was a fee, interest payment, subscription you forgot, or automatic charge you didn't consciously choose. Calculate the total. That's your leak number. Most people find $200 to $500 a month they didn't know they were losing. Number 2, build one Gate 3 habit. Pick one amount. Make it small, $20, $50, whatever won't hurt. Set up an automatic transfer to one place, a high-yield savings account, a Roth IRA, even just a separate account labeled Don't Touch. The amount doesn't matter. The direction matters. Number 3, ask one question before Gate 4. Before any non-essential purchase this week, ask, am I choosing this, or is this just the path of least resistance? That's it.
Just ask. You don't even have to change the answer yet. Just notice.
I am not evil. I am not magical. I am not a reward for good behavior or a punishment for mistakes. I am just reactive. I go where I'm directed. I grow where I'm planted. I leak where I'm ignored. Sarah spent 38 years thinking she was bad with money. She wasn't. She was just untrained. Like her parents, like her teachers, like most of the people giving advice on social media. The problem wasn't her character. The problem was structural. The industrial era design of education, the cultural silence around money, the psychological complexity no one explained, the incentives that benefit from confusion. We weren't taught how money works because the system was optimized for labor participation and economic throughput, not personal capital sovereignty. Financial literacy creates independence. Mass systems historically prioritize stability. The gap was structural, not accidental. You think you know where your money goes. Now you know you don't, and more importantly, you know why you don't. But here's the good news. You don't need to go back and fix every mistake. You don't need to become a financial expert overnight. You just need to see the gates and start directing $1 at a time. The ones who understand my journey don't just survive, they build, not because they're smarter, not because they earn more, because they finally saw what was always there. That can be you. If you want me, money, to explain more of the hidden journeys that no one taught you, hit subscribe. And I mean actually hit it, not just think about hitting it. The algorithm doesn't run on good intentions. Next video, I'm going to show you something that makes people angry, but they need to hear it. I'll show you what actually makes me show up, and what guarantees I'll stay away. Spoiler, it's not what your boss told you. See you next time. And Sarah, she's going to be fine. Now she knows where to look.